Alright, so here's the can fan spec sheet, and you'll see across the top here you got the the type of fan, your volts, amps, all that kind of stuff, and then the numbers here are 0 inch, 1.25 inch. That's water column pressure. So when you measure fans, centrifugal fans, you use water column because it is a flow just like water, and it creates pressure. So since we're using the fan we're going to be testing is the 6 inch, so that's right here, 6 inch fan, and basically if you look there at zero pressure, or meaning no bends in the ducting, you'll get 269 CFMs, and that's with no resistance through the ducting. Worst case scenario, you're looking at 1.5 inches of pressure, and you'll only get 37 CFMs out of a ducting run that creates 1.5 inches of water column pressure. So obviously we want to be closer to zero and get full CFMs out of it, but due to every 90-degree turn you drop a little bit. Every time you reduce down to a smaller ducting, anything like that, you're going to get worse performance. So ideally we want to be below 0.5, and we want to be as close to zero as possible. So let's check it out. So this is the manometer. It's a device for testing the water column, and this is what we'll use to make sure our ducting runs are efficient, basically. There's two ports there, these 25-foot 3/16 diameter hoses plug into the end right there, and then at the end of those hoses are static pressure probes, and these basically go inside the ducting and measure the flow. So one probe goes on your intake and the other probe goes on your outtake, and it'll determine the pressure between those 2 points. So let me show you what we're going to test here. Go in here to my flower room. You'll see here, that's the fan hanging up right there. It's got a short run of ducting on it, and I've already got a probe in there ready to go. So that's my intake. So I've got one probe on my intake, and then that fan pushes air through this wall. So let's go back through here, and on the other side of the fan is a 90-degree elbow kind of pointing up, so I want to give it a little bit of resistance. And then the ducting runs down, does another 90-degree turn, and goes right outside to the window. So obviously this point would be where we'd want to stick the outtake probe. So if we grab that, and let's move over here, and we're going to put this probe right in that hole there. Okay, and that's our outtake. So we've got our probes placed. So the first thing you want to do is turn this thing on, and once it's on, you want to zero it out, and you want to zero it out in the room that you're testing your flow, essentially, or just I guess anywhere in your veg or flower area. So you hold this down until it shows a bunch of zeros. There it goes, and now we attach our tubing, so I'm going to set the camera down real quick to do that. And you'll see right away that our reading is 0.15. So referring to that chart I showed you earlier, 0 inch water column was 270 CFMs, 1.5 was 30 CFMs, so 0.15 we should be getting right around 250 CFMs between those 2 points. So that's basically how manometers work and how they apply to your garden. Alright, peace.